Big story of the day, kind of similar to actually my video on Snowflake, with another big opportunity presenting itself where maybe Palantir can step in. There's more disruption in the world today, and that's hurting the reputations of companies adjacent to Palantir. Now, if you haven't heard yet, the major endpoint cybersecurity company CrowdStrike has a huge outage affecting tons of companies, and probably most first-handedly for people traveling with the airlines and getting stuck at airports. Now, this is still a developing story with them trying to get customers back up online, but essentially it was caused by a bug that was deployed out, so it wasn't a hack or a breach, just to be clear. Now, with all this chaos happening around, at least in the Palantir community, Palantir's Apollo product gets brought up into conversation of, their main purpose is essentially the deployment of software updates. And this is, of course, in a compliant manner to prevent these sorts of events from occurring for the company that's using them. So naturally, some of these folks are doing that should have used Palantir kind of moment for CrowdStrike. Now, for me personally, I'm not intimately knowledgeable enough about the outage issue at a technical level, and of course, how this occurred and if Palantir would be the best case scenario in preventing this again if they were to work together with CrowdStrike. But I think for the general message of chaos that is happening, especially when it hits down to the end user customer point, like someone looking at a screen at the airport where all the flight information is down and you basically can't do anything, I'm sure someone will want to ruffle up some feathers to figure out how to stop this from occurring again. Now, as Palantir continues to chug along and solve problems even before they're occurring, it wouldn't hurt their business having customers see this happening around them and start to think about their own software infrastructure, especially with the vendors that they work with and how updates are deployed, and maybe even thinking about Palantir. Apollo is a relatively new product still in the whole scheme of things, being actually how Palantir internally deployed software and eventually turning it into a product with, I remember a ways back, having Cisco, a huge company, be one of the first major presenters on their usage of Apollo at AIPCon. So it's definitely working for large companies dealing with global deployments, and this is with a mix of automated and manual pushes, as well as asynchronous deployment. But we'll continue to see if Palantir's name gets brought up into the conversation, and at least is considered when chaos like this happens, and hopefully becomes preventable in the future. But what are your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.